everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I'm very grateful that you're here and that you're going to allow me to sing these songs and tell these stories. At first, I want to apologize. As you may have learned, they won't let you bring drinks into the theater, which is a huge bummer. For those of you who were smart enough to bring a flask, congratulations. For those of you who didn't, it's your own fault. I don't know what to say. You're unprepared. And it's probably been a pattern in your life in some way or another, and maybe worth investigating. Tonight's show will be totally unamplified, so I'm going to ask you to liberate yourselves from your cell phone. And that's it. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, which starts in 5, 4, 3.
Hey Jim, I'm calling from Simi Valley, California. I just moved here. I am originally from Ohio. I was born in Troy, Ohio. I am 26 years old now, and I've lived in Ohio for most of my life. Last year, I packed up all of my things and moved to California. I have a tattoo on my left wrist of a moon and stars, and on the right wrist of an anchor and stars. I got them a few years ago to remind myself to do what I love in life.
Time has come to leave the place I know and love. California, here I come. Summoned by the angels I've been dreaming of. California, here I come. Well, I will leave with memories I won't forget. Oh, California, here I come. With anticipation and a few regrets. California, here I come. Everything I've ever owned in an old suitcase. All I've loved, all I've known, soon to be replaced. I'm tie an anchor to the moon and drive away. California, here I come. Nice. That will be the only whistling I'm doing, by the way. For your sake. Every time we say goodbye, we also say hello. And every new beginning has a lonely end. California, here I come. When you think it's over, it begins again. California, here I come. California, here I come. California, here I come. Man, I'm so happy you're here and doing this weird kind of experiment. I'm assuming a lot of you have seen me play before.
All right. Well, this show's going to be a little different than the other shows that you've seen. It's going to be different, first and foremost, because there will basically be no strippers on stage with me tonight. Unless somebody's planning something that I don't know about. I'm looking at you. I'm all for it. I just want you to know that. You get the urge, do the thing. I'm all in. But the show's a little different. This record's kind of different. I'm really glad people have kind of shown some interest in it. It was a weird experience. I asked 17 fans of mine the same 69 questions, and from their answers, I wrote a song. Now, it could appear as though, I like to see it in my perspective as that I did a little art project based on the lives of 17 fans of mine. It could be perceived that I exposed and exploited the lives of 17 really nice people who paid me, by the way, by putting up on display their personal information, their family history, their memories, for my own benefit, like the self-serving singer/songwriter/narcissist that I am. So tonight, and tonight only, as a gesture to show my gratitude to those people who trusted me with their personal information, but also to extinguish any notion that this was a self-servingly motivated project, I myself am going to answer all of those questions that those 17 victims answered. I'm going to do it honestly, and I'm going to do it to show them that if at all they were embarrassed or humiliated by this record and the songs that came out of it, I want to show them that I am equally as willing to embarrass and humiliate myself. You with me? Yes. All right. I have a theory, and the theory is everyone knows the name of the person. They know the first and last name of the person who was their first kiss. For example, what was the name of the first person you kissed?
Mark R.
Mark R? Like R initial?
First name and
Last name? Did you know his last name?
Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Roberts. He's not here, is he? Okay. What about you, dude?
Susan Shaw.
See? My theory's fucking right, I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. There's just something about it. Like, everyone's identity means so much to you when you're younger. And you just remember, mine was Kristen Rooney. It was in the summer of 1987. I was 11 years old. Kristen was a super hot 12-year-old. I mean, like one of the hottest 12-year-olds I've ever been with. So we made out behind the rec center, like all good kids do. And to be perfectly honest with you, I thought I did a really good job. This is true. Apparently I didn't. Because for the rest of the summer, Kristen and her friends would refer to me publicly as Biter-Man. That's a true story. And you know what? I fucking meant to do it that way, all right? That's how I do it. I still do it that way. She just didn't like that shit, all right. So a very nice woman named Mary who is here tonight, she told me that her first kiss happened with a guy named Billy Baker, which, first of all, as a songwriter, if someone hands you the name Billy Baker, you're legally obligated to write a song called Billy Baker. So Mary currently lives in Michigan with her 2 daughters and her husband. They have a house up in Mackinac Island. But she's originally from Ohio, and her first kiss with Billy was when she was 16 years old. And she told me that what she remembered was that Billy was a smoker. And she wasn't, but she remembered that when she had her first kiss, he tasted like cigarettes. And not only that, but that she kind of liked it. And that now, even when she greets someone hello who's a smoker, it kind of reminds her of Billy Baker. So I wrote her this song. It's called
Billy Baker, won't you take her where she wants to go? Tell her all the things she wants to hear and say them slow. Though tonight is just one night and you are but 16, hold her hand, buy her candy, treat her like a queen. 'Cause years from now, she'll move to Mackinac Island. And this won't be a memory at all. Oh, Billy, give her something she'll remember. When the moment's right, kiss her lips tonight. Life is short, Billy Baker, time just slips away. One day you are young, and then the next you're old and gray. Billy Baker, you'll grow older, and someday you'll see that all your sweetest memories were born from nights like these. Years from now, she'll move to Mackinac Island, far away from everything she's known. Oh, Billy, give her something she'll remember. Go and make your move, you got nothing to lose. It's up to you, Billy Baker, fate is in your hands. Will this evening turn to dust? Will it truly last? Now's your chance, Billy Baker, put that cigarette out. Pull her close, nice and slow, kiss her tiny mouth. Years from now, she'll move to Mackinac Island. She will settle down and have 2 children. Tonight could be a story as she tells them. You got nothing to lose. Billy, make your move.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Where's Mary? Where are you, Mary? All right. Mary flew in from Michigan for this. I'm glad you're here. There was a rumor that Billy Baker was coming. That's true.
But apparently Billy's a little flaky.
He was my first boyfriend.
Oh, really? Billy's, were you his first girlfriend, though?
I grew up with him, so that's how.
All right, pay me some money. I'll write a fucking song about it, all right? All right, by a show of hands, let me see. How many people here have two separate scars on their belly button from the two separate times they tried to pierce themselves with an unsanitized safety pin? Is that just me? Okay. Let me try. What's another one? So how many people here have a heart-shaped, self-inflicted cigarette burn on their left wrist that they gave themselves because Don Marsico broke up with them senior year of high school? Is that just me? All right, that's actually a relief, because Don was with a lot of guys behind my back. So, along this process, some of the questions were scars. These physical trademarks that make us who we are. Every scar has a story, and it kind of defines us in a bunch of different ways. Tattoos do the same thing as like an identifier of who we are. There's a guy named Daniel Kilpatrick who is in Australia. He's the son of a college professor, and he was born in Australia, and he's still there. But the Kilpatrick bloodline goes back to Scotland. And I know that because on his arm, he has a tattoo of the Kilpatrick family crest, which is like a shield or like a coat of arms that goes back to the Scottish House of Names. This is how much fucking research I did for this shit. Anyway, Daniel also has a giant surgical scar on his lower abdomen from a hernia operation that he had. So these are kind of mundane points, but merged with the fact that he currently works in the marble industry. He works in marble restoration off the Gold Coast. I sort of imagined him getting a hernia from carrying all this marble around. That's totally not true at all, but I kind of elevated this character's life in this song I wrote. It's called Kilpatrick Man.
Here I am, a Kilpatrick man, bearing the shield of the Kilpatrick clan. I drill holes in the mountains and quarry the stones. I crush them to pieces to polish and hone. Here I am, a Kilpatrick man. My dad was a teacher. I work with my hands, with a scar on my belly that's white as a pearl. Count the stones I have carried, the weight of the world. Here I am, a Kilpatrick man, a Scotsman down under. I survey the land with my head in the highlands, my feet on the coast. I survive and I'll die by the salt of the earth. Here I am.
He's gonna have like a bagpipe solo here. Maybe like battling a didgeridoo. But I spared you that.
Here I am, a Kilpatrick man. Lower my body down into the land. On the day that I die, my soul will succumb as I lay with my stones until sweet kingdom come. Here I am, a Kilpatrick man, bearing the shield of the Kilpatrick clan. I drill holes in the mountains, I quarry the stones, I crush them to pieces to polish and hone.
All right, so I want everybody to think before I play this next song. Happiest event of your life. There's probably, hopefully, been more than one, if you're doing this right. I want you to think about it. What would it be? Don't put too much pressure on yourself to make it amazing, but I am going to randomly call on you, so make it relatively interesting. I'll start. One of the greatest events of my life, or one of the greatest moments, I should say, was in 2008. I was on a tour bus, a double-decker tour bus. I was on top. I was in the front. I wasn't driving, but I was in the front where I was like above the driver, and it was about like 5:30 in the morning. I was jet-lagged. I had just flown in, and we were driving through the fjords of Norway to get to some town or another. And we were just starting a big tour, like a 6-week European tour. And I was on a bus with like 10 of my friends, and the sun was rising, and it was like turning the ice all gold, all around me. And I remember that moment because I felt like I had accomplished something, a dream of mine. I've always wanted to be on tour and do this for a living, and that moment, for whatever reason, kind of secured that I had made it to a certain point. All right, so.
I guess.
Did I ask her?
The first ever time I saw Bianco.
Very sweet.
That was true. It was at a trampolining competition, and I saw this girl.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were at a what now?
Trampoline.
Competition.
And she was trampolining.
That's very sweet. That's a very sweet story.
Tell us because we couldn't hear it.
Oh, a little bit of attitude in that. But I get it. It's an intimate show. The dude met the girl at a trampoline contest, man. First time he ever saw his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. First time he ever saw his wife. What was yours, loudmouth, back there? What's your favorite moment? What was a happy event in your life? I can't see you, sorry.
That's okay. I would say birthday with my 2 daughters at home.
Oh, nice. Trumping mine, guys. Well, similarly to you, there's a guy named Roy from Washington State who told me that the happiest moment of his life is when he married his wife, which I thought was very sweet and very honest thing to say to a relative stranger. He also told me that he wears an earring and he used to ride a motorcycle, and he went out of his way to tell me that his first car was a 1960-something Dodge Dart with a slant 6 engine that he rebuilt himself, and that he fears most in life stupid people. Maybe a little less sweet, but a particular dickiness that I can relate to. And finally, he told me that the saddest event of his life was when he went to jail for domestic violence. Not sweet at all, really. But I appreciated him telling me that. And in his defense, he said that he was wrongly accused and that it was some crazy ex-girlfriend trying to get back to him, but he did go to jail for it, which stuck with me. And for me, I saw maybe a story of redemption of a guy who found the light of life in the love of his life, his wife, but maybe came from a really dark place. And in that turning point, the pivotal moment was when he proposed to his wife. So I wrote this song for him. It's called Jane.
I work hard for a living, I got debts to pay, but I have a small house that's just south of Birch Bay. It's the home I was raised in, it's the place I was born. I've been living here since both my parents passed on. My hands are strong, I'm in pretty good health. I drive a slant six that I rebuild myself. I am a straight shooter, I am a man of my word. I don't know how to dance, but I'm willing to learn. From this day forward, expect a bouquet of silly red roses on Valentine's Day. I know that things won't always go our way, but I promise I'll be here till your dying day. And I guess what I'm really trying to say is, Jane, will you marry me? Spent time in the big house, yeah, I ain't too proud. I've been given more chances than a man should be allowed. I've been drunk with the devil, with the lights down low. But all of that was such a long time ago. Now I only make promises I know I can keep. Sometimes I have trouble falling asleep. I never read from the Bible or prayed with my hands, but I'd make a good father if given the chance. From this day forward, expect a bouquet of silly red roses on Valentine's Day. I know that things won't always go our way, but I promise I'll be here till your dying day. And I guess what I'm really trying to say is, Jane, will you marry me? I hardly get nervous, but right now I'm scared. I ain't good with words and I came unprepared. But there's one thing I've learned from all I've been through. It's a man's got to do what a man's got to do. From this day forward, expect a bouquet of silly red roses on Valentine's Day. I know that things won't always go our way, but I promise I'll be here till your dying day. And I guess what I'm really trying to say is, Jane, will you marry me?
Thank you. Funny little sidebar to that song. So, there was a series of miscommunications and lost emails and blatant oversights on my behalf. Only about half of that song is true. Like, for example, both of his parents aren't dead. Which is kind of a fucked up fuck up. Someone's like, hey man, write a song about me. And I'm like, your parents are dead. It's just not nice. It's not nice. It's not a nice thing to fuck up. It's just not. Although, eventually, it will be true. I'm just saying. That's terrible. Oh, also, right, this sweet angel of light who brought our devil character out. Yeah, her name isn't Jane. Her name is Sally. And as a sweet angel of light who shows her man the light of life through love, actually runs a hardcore sex website advice column. Which, if I would have known that, I probably would have written a different song. Is Roy here? And Sally, they threatened to come. All right. I was grateful that he answered so honestly, though. I thought that was most people answered really honestly and gave up a lot more information than I would have expected. And I was grateful for that. They also answered some of the more trivial questions in a complete manner, which I also appreciated. Like, if someone were to ask me, what's your favorite song? I'd be like, fucking 37, dude. I don't have a favorite song. 14-year-olds have a favorite song. 14-year-olds have only heard 60 songs. You know what I mean? They choose one, and that's their favorite song. But everyone answered it, and I'll answer it. So if I had to choose a favorite song, it would be Dire Straits' Sultans of Swing. Favorite movie, Woody Allen, Shadows and Fog. Favorite flavor ice cream, chocolate peanut butter, because that's the best fucking flavor ice cream there is. A very, very nice woman, ostensibly from Pennsylvania. She's a nurse. She told me that her favorite movie was The Wizard of Oz, which is like a gold mine for a songwriter for references, man. It's amazing. She told me her favorite song was Isn't She Lovely? Not that version, by the way. And what was the other? Oh, favorite flavor ice cream was mint chocolate chip. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt. She's never tasted chocolate peanut butter. So, Dara has a belly button ring, a couple scars, and a couple tattoos, one being a set of eyeballs on her hips. Yeah. She told me, she told me that she only had one pet her whole life, and it was a dog named Pepper, and it was run over in the driveway by her drywall contractor when she was a kid. It's a tragic story. She also told me that her greatest fears are lightning storms and spiders and drywall contractors, I'm assuming. She grew up on a street called Little Road in Pennsylvania, and her nickname is Princess, so I wrote this song for her. It's called Hey Princess.
Hey princess, where'd you get that tattoo? I'm not the only set of eyes on you. Isn't she lovely? Princess of Little Road. Hey princess, where'd you get all those scars? Hey princess, did you take it too far? Wicked are the witches and the drywall kings and the belly rings. Princess of Little Road. Hey princess, won't you give me those lips? I bet they taste like mint chocolate chips. Come a little closer, I won't bite. Princess of Little Road. Hey princess, won't you call me a nurse? Hey princess, won't you help lift this curse? The spiders and the frightening lightning storms will keep us warm. Princess of Little Road. Yeah. Princess of Little Road. Yeah. Princess of Little Road.
just realized about the bite line there. It's a lot of irony. It's a lot of irony to handle all at once. All right, so this next song, is Bonnie here?
Yes.
Oh, where are you? Hey, girl. This song's written for Bonnie, and the crux of the song is based around the question, what is your saddest event of your life? And before I unravel Bonnie's terribly sad story, I'm going to talk about mine. It's only fair because she gave up a lot of pretty heavy information. So I thought about this a lot because I knew I'd have to stand here and answer this in front of you, and I thought about lying to you because that would be easier, and you wouldn't fucking know the difference. And it's my show. But the truth is one of the saddest moments of my life happened when I was 18 years old, and I can pinpoint it because they never really go away, those sad moments. I was 18 and I was coming back home. My parents had recently divorced, within a month or so. And I came home from a night of partying with my friends, and I was living with my dad. My mom had left. And I came home, remember answering machines? Yeah, so I hit the button. And first of all, my dad is like, I don't know if anybody's here met my dad. He's like fucking Brooklyn to the core. He's street. He's a real dude. He only drives Cadillacs, you know what I mean? I'm not joking around. That's the only car he's ever owned, Cadillac. That's just the beginning to scratch the surface, but he's a real strong dude. He's a real heavy dude. He's a real proud guy. And I came home and I hit the button on the answering machine, and it was my father, and he was calling from the hospital. And I had to go pick him up. And the story went that he bumped into my mother at some club, and he saw her dancing with some dude. And like the bad motherfucker that he is, just fucking wailed on the guy. Not knowing that the guy had like 8 friends there with him. And they did what they could with 8 against 1 with my dad. Kind of beat the shit out of him. And they sent him, and I think he drove himself to the hospital because that's the kind of guy he is. And he called me and he kept saying, one guy clipped me with the heel right here. And I went to the hospital and I picked him up, and about a week later, he had to go in to get this fixed, this little surgery. And he was under anesthesia, which I had never seen him under anesthesia before. And I know that he wouldn't have said this if he wasn't under anesthesia, but it was just me in the room with him, and he was just about to go into surgery, and he was really high. And my sister wasn't there, and my mom wasn't there, and he looked at me, and he asked me, he said, call your mother. I want you to call your mother. I want her to be here for this. And I remember having to make the executive decision to not call her, which sucked because I wanted to. So that was terrible. Not nearly as terrible as Bonnie's story, though. Bonnie told me that the saddest events of her life was the death of her brother David and her sister Diana. Diana died, I think, in the early 80s. She was about 24 years old. And they found her body in the back of in the trunk of a car that was submerged underwater. And it was an unsolved mystery. They still don't know who killed her, but they know that she died before the car was submerged. And then 9 years or so after that, David came home from the Persian Gulf War, and he killed himself. So, this is life. Terrible things happen, we know that. She also was brightly reminded of the time that her and her family, they're all from Oregon, near Portland, and the time that they all drove down one summer to Disneyland. She had that good memory, which was sweet. Her, and I'm assuming your siblings too, all went to Toledo Junior High School, is that right? So in Toledo Junior High School, Bonnie has told me that she was always fascinated with maps and outer space, and that her and her friends and family used to watch meteor showers from the roof together. And that later in life, she remembers listening to Bachman-Turner Overdrive in her first car, which is a white Pontiac Catalina. So I took all of that information and I tried to merge it into something that could be valuable, not just for her, but for hopefully everybody who's lost someone. Anyway, it's called Bachman-Turner Overdrive.
Toledo Junior High, 1975. In the back of a white Pontiac, Bachman-Turner Overdrive. Me, my sister, and my brother, and my father, and my mother, driving down to California on Route 5. Through my life, these times keep coming back to me. What are we supposed to do with memories if they serve a purpose I never understood? But they sure feel good. I recall the meteor showers from our roof. We watched for hours. Afterwards, we drew a map of outer space. Or that night, we all snuck out. The three of us, and Mom found out. I never will forget that look upon her face. Through my life, these times keep coming back to me. What are we supposed to do with memories if they serve a purpose I never understood? But soon I would. Someone that you hold so dear can without warning disappear and leave you all alone. Such a mystery. People said it was God's plan, but I could never understand how God could play a part in such a tragedy. Now memories, they sit beside me like old photographs. Every single story, like a suitcase left unpacked, there to let me know when I got no place to go. At least I can look back. And through my life, these times keep coming back to me. What are we supposed to do with memories if they serve a purpose? It's one I never knew, but now I do. Toledo Junior High, 1975. In the back of a white Pontiac with Bachman-Turner Overdrive.
Thank you for that, Bonnie. All right, so show of hands, everybody go to church this weekend? That was my next question. Anybody go to church not at a wedding in the last year? Godless hedonists out here. I didn't go to church this weekend either. But I did recently move to Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm learning a lot about religious people out there. Mostly that they're so much nicer than me. Genuinely. It's mean they make me feel bad with how nice they are. So there's this doctor. She's from the Midwest. They got a lot of church-going folks out there. She lives in Zionsville, Indiana. Swear to God. Ironically. She's a doctor, and she's the only person who told me that when I asked for your eye color, she said she had 2 different color eyes. She has one green eye and one brown eye. She also told me that she loves Johnny Cash's record, Folsom Prison, and also John Denver's record, Take Me Home Country Road. Good taste in music. And then she told me that her favorite book is the Bible, and that the happiest event of her life is every day due to her daily deepening love for Jesus Christ. And that I asked if you had any favorite quotes, and she said, "Do unto others as you'd have done to yourself." Now, I was raised Catholic long ago, and my last real foray with religion was at Pat Frasco's religion class when I was 9 years old, which she took the belt, true story, that hangs on the refrigerator off of it and would beat Brad Frasco under the table during religion class. So that was kind of my experience. So I distanced myself. But I wanted to write a song for her, even though I'm not as religious as her, that I could genuinely sing and believe in. So I jumped on Do Unto Others as You'd Have Done to Yourself. Of course I believe that. What kind of sociopathic asshole doesn't believe that? So I wrote this song for her. It's called The Golden Rule.
Doctors will prescribe a pill to remedy the shape you're in. But I am sure the perfect cure don't involve medicine. You got to just put the past behind you. Love yourself and don't be cruel. Jesus will come and find you, lead you to the golden rule. Yeah. When one eye's green and one eye's brown, and people make fun of you. If folks are mean and they put you down, well, here's what I suggest you do. You got to just put the past behind you. Love yourself and don't be cruel. Jesus will come and find you, lead you to the golden rule. When Johnny Cash made a splash, singing for the boys in jail, he preached the word and it was heard, and today it still prevails. You got to just put the past behind you. Love yourself and don't be cruel. Jesus will come and find you, lead you to the golden rule. Somebody whistle for me. Here we go. When your lines are crossed and you're feeling lost, you can sing your favorite song, and a country road will take you home, back to where you belong. You got to just put the past behind you. Love yourself and don't. Give me some of that whistling. That's good. Jesus will come and find you, yeah. He'll lead you to the golden rule, yeah, go ahead. But just put the past behind you. Love yourself and don't be cruel. Jesus will come and find you. I'll lead you to the golden rule. Yeah, here we go. Jesus will come and find you.
Aren't you glad you're not in my band?
Lead you to the golden rule.
The best whistling shit ever. I expected far less from you, Los Angeles, I'm not gonna lie. Really, really talented people here in this city, I'll tell you. All right, so this next tune, basically, you could easily say that we are what we are by what we do, what we like, what we have, but you can easily be defined as what we don't do, what we don't have, and what we don't like. So this one guy from Arizona told me that he doesn't have any scars, he doesn't have any tattoos, he doesn't smoke weed, he never smokes cigarettes, and he only has one vice, and it's a single malt scotch. So I wrote in this song, it's called
I never got a tattoo. My skin is like brand new. But honey, if I do, I would get it of you. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'd be willing to bet that if I ever do, yeah, I will smoke 'em with you. I'll tell you once, I'll tell you twice. A man like me has only got to one vice. It's strong and smoky and it goes down nice. A single malt scotch with a cube of ice. I usually abstain from smoking Mary Jane, but if you wanted me to, I would smoke it with you.
Where's my whistlers, man? Let's do this shit again. Let's go.
Telling you twice, a man like me has only got you one vice. It's a strong and smoky and it goes down nice. A single malt scotch with a cube of ice. I don't know cocaine or how to shoot in my vein, but if you wanted to learn, I'd be a little concerned.
Thank you. So, on this record that obviously you either all own already or will purchase on your way out of here, there are these little introductions like you've heard so far, each of them in their own way kind of describing what's going to happen in the song upcoming. And one of the later songs on the record, it's called It's Gonna Be Okay. There's no introduction to it. And that's because the person who I wrote it for, I felt was very, very honest, and I would have felt like I would have betrayed a certain amount of information that I know if I were to have put an intro letting you know exactly what the song is about. So I wrote the song for her and towards her and her thing, but it was just a little too personal for me to give to everyone else. So you'll just have to fucking deal with that.
When there's no one there to hold you, songs of broken love console you. Everything you thought you knew and all that you believed was true suddenly just vanish in the air. And you know you can't outrun feeling that you're running from. Was what you lost ever really there? Sometimes, some days, we need someone to say it's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Only broken hearts can see just how fragile love can be. There's a sadness deep inside, feeling that you try to hide, secret that is yours and yours alone. And you know the light behind every shadow that you find. Sometimes you just need to be reminded. Sometimes, some days, we need someone to say it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, yeah. It's gonna be okay, yeah. It's gonna be okay, yeah. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
All right, thank you very much. Dominique, you're here, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Was I not supposed to say that? Sorry. Sorry, dude. Okay, so I got 2 more songs for you. I promised a person tonight that I would write a song for them, right? I was set up, I don't know, most of you got the memo. I had a lot of people send in all of their fucked up answers to their questions. And I got very lucky, I randomly chose one. And I got very, very lucky. I have to read it directly from Bianco. Okay, so this person told me that, I hope she's here. She lived on a farm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. She grew up on a farm. Susan? That's you? Oh, all right. Great fucking answers, man. I mean, I don't even know if you're lying in some of these answers, but this is amazing. All right, so the most memorable childhood pet was a dog named Bingo. Not the most creative farmer dog name in the world. As she stated, by the way. But Bingo died She said, we lived on a horse farm. Bingo wasn't leashed or fenced in. A nearby pig farmer, Thomas Lawrence, was breeding sheepdogs to sell, and he had a female in heat. So, Bingo dug a hole under the fence to get to her, and the farmer shot him, and then never admitted to killing the dog. These fucking dog deaths are terrible, man. The neighbors growing up, she said it was a pretty big farm and it was a rural area, but she was right next to a black gospel church, and on Sunday nights when it was warm, we'd sit in the back of my dad's pickup truck in the driveway and listen to them sing. It's a great life this girl had, except for the dead dogs. Several scars, but one of them is on her leg from a hot gluing feathers to a fake dead chicken. I'm going to let you sit with that one. Saddest event of her life was when my grandmother passed. She spent most of her time in her garden, smoking Camels, drinking Budweiser all day, listening to Willie Nelson, and she wore flip-flops every day of her life. And just like her grandma, Susan is a drinker. She prefers whiskey sours and Cadillac margaritas. All right. So here's your fucking song, man. I actually want to thank you because, I'll tell you after.
If I take you down to my hometown, you'll learn a thing or two about me. Ain't no sacred roses growing from that ground. Rotten apples don't fall far from the tree. Sipping whiskey sours from a plastic cup, sitting with my daddy in a pickup truck. Listen to the choir sing about bad luck and the flood that God is gonna bring. Pulled all the chickens from the chicken coop, pulled all the feathers from the chicken, made some chicken soup. Add Cadillac tequila and some ginger root. It's the meal that's fit for a king. Now if I take you down to my hometown, I'll tell you what you're gonna see. Ain't no sacred roses growing from that ground. Rotten apples don't fall far from the tree. A bitch in heat gives off the scent. Bingo wasn't stupid, he knew what that meant. But farmers shoot, they don't call the police. And Bingo died trying to get a piece. If I take you down to my hometown, you'll learn a thing or two about me. Ain't no sacred roses growing from that ground. Rotten apples don't fall far from the tree.
What's your grandma's name?
My grandma, she's dead and gone from drinking and smoking all night long, dancing to an old Willie Nelson song. She died with her flip-flops on. If I take you down to my hometown, I'll tell you what you're gonna see. Ain't no pretty roses growing from that ground. Rotten apples don't fall far from the tree. Rotten apples don't fall far from the tree. Rotten apples don't fall far from the tree. In Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
All right. Thank you for that. It was like I had to write Tennessee Wedding all over again. Part 2. All right, this is going to be the last song. I just want to thank you guys. Really? I feel like it's been like an hour already. No, we'll do this. It'll be the last song. It's fine. I need a volunteer to come up. It needs to be a woman who can read. Do we have any of those here? You want to come up? Come up, man. What's your name? Alyssa. Alyssa, everybody. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
I brought a flask.
What's that?
I brought a flask.
Yeah, the girl. Stick with her, dude. All right, so basically, this song was written about not you at all. You're just a victim in all this right now. This is going to end terribly for you. I can guarantee you that. The song was written for some girl who lives in Maryland, and she's not here tonight. But she told me that. Shit, I'm forgetting what it is. Oh yeah, she went to Sachs Junior High School. That was the name of her junior high school, and that her very first car was a 1996 red Toyota. What the fuck is it now? Red Honda Civic. It was a red Honda Civic. And she grew up going down to the Jersey Shore in the summers, and she loves that flavor ice cream.
Chocolate peanut butter?
Cookies and cream.
Oh.
Nice. So you're just going to have to read all these answers here. Do you know this song?
No, I don't know this song.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
You're here and you don't know this song? You're not Facebook friends with me.
I'm Facebook friends with you. I just tagged you in a post in a check-in.
What the fuck are you doing on your phone over there? Get the fucking announcement?
Let's forward the announcement.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Give her another round of applause. So I'll cue you. You just
Let me
do
know.
your thing,
Let me know.
okay?
I used to know a girl back in Sachs Junior High. We had a 3-hour exam that made us both want to cry. She confessed after the test that she got it all wrong.
I didn't think it would be so hard and so long.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
You an actress?
We went down to the shore just to blow off some steam. I bought a cone with a single scoop of cookies and cream. I offered her a spoon like a good Boy Scout.
I'd rather just shove the whole thing in my mouth.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. She drove a 1996 cherry red Honda Civic. When the oil light went on, she took it straight to the mechanic. He put the oil in, and he said, kind of frustrated,
If you want this thing to run, you've got to keep it lubricated.
that's what she said. That's what she said. Every person at the party had a bottle of champagne. It was New Year's Eve, and we were gonna make it rain. We shook them up as they counted down in Times Square.
You better not fucking get that in my hair.
That's what she said. That's what she said. My card wasn't working at the ATM. I called the toll-free number and the process began. Yeah, hi, I inserted my card, but it didn't ever ask me for my PIN.
Sir, are you sure you stuck that all the way in?
That's what she said. Give it up.
You guys were excellent. I'll be back sometime next year, probably with a full band, doing a whole thing, making offensive music as usual. But thank you so much for hanging with me. You're fucking amazing. I'm really grateful that we did this tonight. Cheers.